Hey, it's Joe Moya, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Have you ever wished that you can crawl inside a man's brain and try and figure out what the hell was going on in there? Well, if that's you, I want you to pay close attention to today's video, because today we're going to talk about how to get a man to want to commit to you. Because see, there's this kind of process that a guy goes through in his brain. Most of the time it's even unconscious, where he realizes that, you know what, this is the person I want to share my life with. He actually makes a decision, often at the unconscious level. So today we're going to talk about that. But what I want to preface this by saying is that you need to understand is that this is not about manipulation, okay? This video is not about, okay, say this or do this or wear this, and you're going to get any guy to want to commit to you, because that's not true. You can do everything by the book, but if he's the wrong guy, he's not going to want to commit to you. And that being said, do you want a man that you have to manipulate, that you have to trick, that you have to play games and do some magic shit just to get him to want to commit to you? I would really, really hope not. So today we're going to talk about is how to get that quality guy who's out there living his life. He's looking for that one special woman to share his life with. When he comes across you, for him to realize, to make that decision in his brain to go, you know what? I don't care that there's all these other women out there. You're the right woman for me. You're the woman that I want to commit to. That's what we're talking about in this video, is what you can do to influence that guy so that he makes that decision in his brain and he realizes that you're the woman that he wants to be with. Okay, so the first thing is you need to be complete with your past. You know, just like you're out there, you're dating guys who are like, you know what, this guy's got some stuff. He's not emotionally available. He's not healthy. He's a jerk, whatever it may be, right? That's the way quality guys look at it as well. So you have to get to a point where you have acceptance with your past. You have closure. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have a past. Everybody has a past. A past. A baby has a past, right? A baby comes into this world. On day 2, he's now got a past, okay? So we all have pasts. Some of us are a lot longer, and they're a lot darker, and there's a lot of stuff in the closets there. But what that quality guy is looking for is that, is your past going to become an obstacle to you being the partner that I'm looking for? So that's what we're talking about. So you need to be complete with your past. You need to come to a place where you're in acceptance with your past, where it's kind of like, you know what? Yeah, I got a past. It sucks. I'm okay with it. I'm in a good place, and I'm ready to move on and be the healthy relationship partner that I need to be. Right? So that's the first one. The second one is you really need to like yourself. Right? You know, this whole thing about loving yourself, okay? And, you know, we can do a whole nother video on that. But it really comes down to really liking yourself, liking who you are. That doesn't mean that you can't have imperfections, you can't have insecurities. Look, we all have them, whether most people are honest enough to admit it. Everybody's got something that they're insecure, that they wish it could be different than it actually is. But liking yourself is like, you know what? I really like who I am. I'm a good person and I'm a good catch. And this is the way I kind of see it. Is, would you want to commit to you? Would you want to spend the rest of your life with you? Now, if your answer is yes, then awesome. But if it's no, it's like, you know what? You know, I can be a handful. You know, I can be a bitch. You know what? I'm really insecure. I'm really needy. You know, and I don't like that about myself. Then you know what? Go work on that. Do your work and clean that up before you want to get into a committed relationship. Because ultimately, what's going to happen is you're going to attract guys who bring that shit to the surface. So better off to deal with it before that happens. So the third thing is you have to be willing to be vulnerable. I know this is very often difficult, especially if you've been hurt in your past. But here's how it works for a quality guy, is that we need you to be vulnerable. Why? Because that allows us to be men. It allows us to be the guys who are going to take care of you, going to make you feel safe, make you feel that you can be protected. And why is that important? It's because that's how we feel good about ourselves. We feel good about ourselves knowing that we can be there for our woman, knowing that we can take care of them, that they can lean on us, that we can be their rock, that we can help them get through their challenges. And especially when you come back and say, you know what, man, I so appreciate that. I'm so grateful. Thank you. It's almost like in the movies where it's like, you know, my hero is like, really? You feel that way? Like, our chest expands. We feel so good. We feel so significant, so important, and that lights us up. And we want to be with a woman that allows us to do that and to experience that. Just like you want to be with a guy who makes you feel safe, right? So you've got to be vulnerable. Now that doesn't mean that on the first date you just open up and just vomit all over the guy and share your deepest, darkest secrets. I'm not talking about that at all. It means that you're willing to be vulnerable, willing to open up, to give the guy a little bit to show you that you can be vulnerable in his presence. He's the kind of guy that is going to respect that. He's going to value that. He's going to appreciate that. And he's going to be there and allow you to be vulnerable and protect you and make you feel safe. Right? So the fourth one is you need to have healthy boundaries and standards. Something that is really attractive to men is a woman who has healthy standards, and the key word is healthy, right? It's their healthy standards and boundaries. And I say it's kind of like lines in the sand. It's like, you know what? These are my lines in the sand, and I will not compromise those for you or for anybody, because that's who I am. When you live in that space, that's the kind of woman that a guy says, you know what? This one is different. Okay, this is the kind of woman that I want to commit to because she values herself. She respects herself. She has standards. She has morals. She has things that she will not compromise. And that says a lot about who she is as a woman, right? That's what we're talking about. Right? And lastly, this is a big one, is you need to be fun to be with, right? If a guy's going to commit the rest of his life to you and only you, it has to be an enjoyable experience for him. And of course, this guy has to work both ways. Like, you need a partner that is going to be fun to be with. There's a difference between a healthy marriage and a mutual coexistence. And I'm sure you've seen people like that. Maybe you have family members that are like that. You have friends like that. They have this mutual coexistence where it's like they may not even sleep in the same bed. They don't have sex. They don't do anything. Right? They're a couple in the sense of the word, but they're really not. So one of the things that makes a happy, fulfilling, successful marriage, or when two individuals really enjoy each other and really like each other and have a lot of fun. One of the things that I value most in my relationship with my wife, Natalie, going on 20 years now, is that we really have a lot of fun together. It's whether we're just sitting, having a conversation, laughing, busting on each other. If she does something silly or I do something silly, right? And our kids see that, and it sets a healthy role model for them. So it's so important to have fun in life, especially with everything that's going on. The world is so serious and can be often depressing, but you got to be able to have fun, as they say, to lighten up. So, I just want to review these really, really quick. Okay, first is you got to be complete with your past, right? You got to get to that point of acceptance where I've got a past, I'm okay with it, I'm ready to move on and be the healthy relationship partner. Number two is you got to like yourself. You got to really know who you are, and you got to like who you are. And again, you can have insecurities. That's okay. You got to be willing to be vulnerable, to open up, to give the guy the opportunity to step up and be the man, because that's how he feels good about himself. You got to have those healthy boundaries and standards. You got to have those lines in the stand which show a man that you're a woman of character. You're a woman of substance. And lastly, you got to be fun to be with, because if a guy's going to spend the rest of his life with only you and only you, even though there's thousands of other women out there, once he sees that you have these qualities, then you're going to stand out from the competition and you're going to be the woman that he's looking for. And so when the right guy sees this and he experiences this, that's when he's going to want to commit. And this is also why sometimes you'll meet guys and they're great guys, but they don't commit, and then they move on and they find somebody else. It's because one of these things very often is missing, and they may not tell you that, but I guarantee you that's very often what they experience, and that's what causes them to leave and to go and ultimately commit their lives to somebody else. So I hope this helps. I hope it resonates with you. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, put them in the box below. I'll see you next time. Have an amazing week. Much love. Now, if you're at that point in your life where you're tired of being single, you want to find that special guy to share your life with, and you can't understand why you're having such a hard time finding him, I'd like to invite you to join our free Facebook group. It's a private group where women just like you are discovering the truth of what it really takes to attract a quality man and a love that lasts. Now, you're going to learn how to identify the real obstacles, especially those that are unconscious, those you're not even aware of,
which are preventing you from finding the love that you're looking for. And you're also going to learn how you can turn your love life around, date successfully, and put yourself in position to find the type of man that your heart desires and deserves. Now, if that's something that sounds interesting to you, you can go to facebook.com/groups/find love that lasts. Or you can just click on the link below in the description of this video. I'll see you there.